Yes, yes, yes. The world don't left now we an. Salone don't left now we an. Now we self get more make Salone go before. No other body, not get for cam. Now we say Leonians them. And remember, this not a colonialism again, where we will say we expect the British or foreigners them for can help we. The world don't advance, the world don't civilize, and I feel say we go push for let people and take over and take care of Salone. So Salone, now we all own, and a one green salon we get. We none not get option as to who side and for born we. So because we not get that option there, so we for treat Salone like say na egg. Because if we make them well, it will benefit we who picking them and the one they will not born it. The next generation. If we spoil them, not to only for we picking them, we go down spoil them also for the future generation. And when I know say for rebuild, it's very difficult than for Puel. For Puel, you the Puel one day. Look, the Rebel War. Tinway Salon don't build for how many years? Where the British they even be don't build. Them born someplace them we buck off the rebels and then place them they be done day in existence before even them born. But in Puelan within short period. So dear, this message specifically, now message for like we talk about the issues them. And it okay if somebody disagree with you. And that's not democracy. So not to anything where we go say you force somebody now persuade you get for persuade them. Now point that you get for make and say for like you able to influence them for changing position. And if you still not able for allow them for change in position or convince them for change in position, okay. Not to tell you for fet them for, not to tell you for cost them for, not to tell you for make them palaver because na your position than they. So na your opinion. So even if you dey share facts with people them, again na democracy will they try for practice na yam. It left to the person for accept them or see things differently. So not to take again where you need for vet somebody or make palaver with somebody. So my family and you are big. That tolerance will be able before. Dear, let we try for bring and come back. That way will they tolerate each other where somebody go strongly disagree with you, but we pray they come, you go make if that person they not get, you go able for make small food for them and tell you picking them, yeah, go give we neighbor. If Christmas come, then go do the same thing. People they will not get and help them. Now that salon they will growing. So dear, let we yes, a day in week. It just happened almost say for whatever reason we don't make with judgment and clouded by political interest. So yes, whether they benefit or not in the political situation or the way how the country they run, but think about Salon Force. I know saying a slogan where Boku people and go say, oh, you thief am from somebody else. But as long as not a good thing, we go reset some of who brains them, so be it. Let we use them for reset some of who brains them. So me fumble them again today Thursday. We don't come. And me na Abdul Karim Kagbo, we go hold this program. Hopefully, I can always say this, but still, I'm not able to maintain that because of the love for me people. For normally, we all get a way for express with self and see if some of we go offer solutions for like we see how Mama Salon go push go before. So I can say we go keep under 2 hours, but the halawiti I for keep under 2 hours. And then I'll go way beyond though. Okay. So fumble them. Before I start the ball rolling, I want for encourage you for Leone share. And if una look at the screen, una go see two barcodes them. And the one when yellow, then they now for the people where they use iPhone. For the one when they in blue, now for the people where they use Android. So you go download the app, the VOS app. Now, the Play Store for the blue one and for the yellow one or the beige, depending upon how you color sensitive, You go download them, the Apple, and just scan the code, and directly they take you go to the link for let you do the download. So that way you go able to get all the good things them with viewers they share, because now we radio station on the ground can do some coverage, and we can post them now either with YouTube page or Facebook or even both. So a nice for let you get the app, and we go to check them frequently. And the other thing also, for the people them waiting at Facebook, we get boku boku over 100,000. But we YouTube channel, for some reason, I they see boku people and they watch now we YouTube channel, but then they subscribe. So there, I they encourage you now follow and subscribe. Let we able develop that YouTube channel there as well. Because now we don't open radio station as Salone. So whatever little we get from the channel, yeah, the YouTube, the Facebook, and the other platforms, them it help we for like we manage with team na Salone. Because again, we know very well say for like a business sustain or an organization, it now go find for like always the common at the owners them pocket. Because from where we establish VOS, now we pocket the money for run, and even buy the software them and all that for let una they see the program they come up find. So and una they see that kind TV atmosphere, and plenty software them we they use now the background for make we all as Sierra Leoneans proud. So I go encourage you now for let una subscribe to YouTube channel. Let we increase that channel there as well. Yes, they grow, but they grow very slowly. So I go encourage you now for like una subscribe to we YouTube channel and the channel VOS network. So dear una subscribe to that YouTube channel there, and let we able see their numbers then they increase as well. So for the people again another piece housekeeping item, the numbers then for call. On I know say for me I can like where it be very interactive. So I can always like for share the numbers there upfront. So if you did in North America, you can call VOS toll free, and the number for call now 1-866-966-857722. So the number now 1-866-944-7722. Again, the toll-free number now 1-866-944-7722. And the UK local number where you can call for each we directly now +4420 80891455 +4420 80891455. And if you're in Australia, the number for call we can consider a local number, especially if you're around our Sydney area. You can call +61 2909 84337 +61 2909 84337. If you did any other part of the world, and even then place I don't call, you want for reach VOS, we get what we call the one port number. So this number, now the WhatsApp number, where you can able reach VOS anytime. And you just need for dial the WhatsApp number when at 1-343-997-5828. The number again are 1-343-997-5828. So again, this now the VOS, and now the Matilda show when Salone issues. But by God's grace, Matilda for come either this week or next week. Saturday in program they move to Saturday evening, and again we still get Antikadi. The thing that I get for talk about today, there's so plenty that I don't think say I go able for cover it all, because I can give una a chance also for let una go able for calling. Because I don't receive beaucoup messages where people and they say they really go appreciate for let I do a lot more of the analysis upfront before I open the phone lines. But again, as soon as I can tell where we open the phone lines, people can so in at the line, and we want for make as many people as possible get the opportunity for let themselves rub mouth and give their own take on the issue. So now find balance. But what thing I go do, because of the topic, the issues then for discuss so plenty, I go take maybe the first half an hour, 45 minutes for give me take. And then, as a matter of fact, though, it's not going for be my entire take, but the material that I want play, I want for play all up front and then do the analysis later and then open the phone line. So, una bear with me. And while una they wait for like begin telling about the thing they were the sequence of the program we are going to cover the things them. I want to encourage you now there on a share because it's nice for like as many people them as possible join the program so we go able forget huge interaction because when we make them interactive I don't say yes but cool people can get at me but guess what we all not salon people them and people and they say wow I get patient I need a vex no me a human being but the thing way they keep me going me fumble them I just want to make this very clear now the facts say I see people on a member up front where I talk about the tolerance. I see people as Sierra Leoneans them, my brothers and sisters. So just like the possible una come one belly. Now that similar way I dey see every Sierra Leonean. By the way, I can ask myself sometimes. I don't remember say I get enemy, like where you go say this person are me enemy and stuff like that. Sometimes down there they help me for like I get this kind temperament. I don't see anybody as me enemy. I can kind of disagree with somebody, but for call somebody saying I'm me enemy and stuff like that. No, because within that can do where you assess people them as you enemy they put so much burden on you. And plenty times some stairs standing now we self they cause them stairs standing. So dear my brothers them, wait make I they say this. I know they go off topic, but I they deliberately say this for like we able see each other and say, I go tolerate you because you not Sierra Leonean, because you not my neighbor, because you not me picking in farm in paddy. So then kind thing and they it really nice for like we able for cope. If we do that, beaucoup time with the politicians them, because to me, guess what? In terms of the politicians them, some people then they say they bash the politicians them, but then people then they do it deliberately for divide we because they not get any sober policy. This not gets nothing for do with a specific party. I mean politicians them in general like majority, even abroad now, yeah, the politicians them, then they depend on thing the way that they tell you whether not true or not for let you give them chance so then go extend their job because not their job dandy, not then daily living dandy. Just like me and you two, way we go out of job, how much we can stay in, forget another job, particularly Africa. So that's they make the politicians them, and plus the corrupt practices the way they engage in, way not to for serve the people them, now for just go and reach themselves, it they become a do or die affair for them. So now me and you two now, not for involved in that kind of do or die affair there. We for say no, you not the right person for the job, or you don't show we one or two things them during the time we be minister or the time we be businessman, or we can dig back to the person in history and say given that history day you not somebody we not get the proper skill set we salon need at this point. So then kind thing and they are feel say a very very essential for like we basically use that for access with politicians them. I be say I go do the analysis and then pick call, but I see one call not come through and I just can't help it. But let me hear you from the sports scene and then I go come right back. Let me just hear you from the sports scene. If you happen to say the person they called the wrong platform, wrong show, let we just now allow them for staying at the line for too long, yeah? All right, let me listen to this person. VOS Network. Hello, caller. What's in your name and who say they call from, please? All right. For whatever reason, caller, you there on, but we need to hear you though. All right. Well, then call we back. Um, all right. Well, Fambulem. So that's now let I go to the topic proper. I want for tell una boku thank you we don't join. And again, Fambulem, this let we see as a way for solve or at least for address salon issues them. So the first thing first way I want for talk about, and of course it gets a lot for do with President Bill in travel one to the United States. But could people particularly that interview where he do now in all university where Boko people let's say it say something we go come back for hunt time or hunt the country and stuff. So plenty people send message to me say they can't wait. Some we even suggest say I for do a special program for like address that. But Boko platform then they would address that. And some people then say okay then go wait Thursday where I come let they hear me on version of it. I go touch on that. And the other thing where I go touch on also given that na me I go say according to my job description we me a senior specialist so me own area for the most part na economics so now they are specialized and I go say because I don't work now for the Canadian government for about 16 years now, over 16 years actually. This last department, I don't take this 16 years. But before that, I work now other government departments them. So, but when you combine that, I go say the experience probably go close to 20 years we I don't they do economic analysis and economic forecast and things like that. So President Bill post something and even the director na IMF himself post and talk about say he use specific words them. Now then words then they I want for explain to people and waiting them mean. Particularly where the a nice for like I just the easy one yeah la pass them through. So this not a tweet where Kristalina Georgieva where this woman na born of Bulgaria so na Bulgarian and him na the current managing director like the overall boss na IMF and it take over a French woman when a Christine Lagarde. So when I see the picture and the woman post say very productive conversation with at President Bill, commended him on steps taken to stabilize the economy and urged him to stay the course. We stand ready to continue to support Sierra Leone's efforts, including supporting the most vulnerable during these difficult times. So Boku people in that tweet they say, oh, the woman don't know what they talk about and don't know what they gonna Salone. But when I look at that the key word where he use stabilize. You know, people by the way, this woman an economist and it don't work in a World Bank, so you get wealth of experience. He use some diplomatic words then a word in a year. But I don't want to let people misunderstand this for say things that don't better in the sense that the economy they grow now, salon poverty don't no. Let I explain to now waiting. I will give reference because the key thing where they really mourn salon right now, not the inflation. So I want to give a reference to the inflation and let I explain to now waiting at the meaning of that word where the director use where he say stabilize the economy. Okay. So in terms of the inflation, now something where I don't dey show now, but I show now the latest. Actually, this now as of July 2023. So the latest you go see now yeah, it almost be 45%. But when you watch closely, when I look at the bar, when you look at the bar fumble them, for una way probably the previous one we na June now be 44.8%. 44.8% inflation. Now 44.98%. So waiting this go tell us, it go tell we say even though inflation still they claim it they go up. But the way how it they change, when I look at the other bottom, beginning from say the term will be 28.2%. So it go 29.1, it go up to 32.98. So when I see the jump them, so the way how the inflation be they go up, it be so I go say aggressive and rapid. So that aggressiveness there. Now this director now, some of them things then they refer to say the way how inflation they go up now, they go at what we call a slow growth. So it goes up slowly. So because in it they jump again, like how from April, so May we see from May to June the jump not big, even though it still they go up, but it not big, and from June to July it not big. So that one day in economics where you don't able for do something and the jump not it so much, you go call them say it don't stabilize. So the proper assessment, you go say it's elevated but stable. Again, I try not for use too many jargons now. Yeah. Okay. So meaning that the inflation still high, but because of at that height they jump again like I be they jump before, and they go up like tete, small small. It means say it don't relatively stable. So what in this mean? It don't necessarily mean say inflation don't calm down. It don't mean say the economy don't significantly improve. So it just tell like where you they fly from for una way I believe say the diaspora we come out Salone, but cool people them don't fly. Well, if you then a Guinea outside of Salone, you serve then the diaspora according to the definition. But for some of we don't fly plane. Where plane they take off, you they see it they put him out up, it they go up and then it sort of kind of reach the level now where that level they you will say the plane don't stabilize and I then tend then they ask una for una pull una can pull una seat belt, but that time where they take off they say una fasten una seat belt because of that turbulence where it they go up and not stable at all. But after we don't reach starting peak and then it level off, then you go see the plane don't stable. So it don't necessarily mean say the height the plane they don't. It is right up, but because of they go through that jump and all that, so you go say the plane stable. So if I use that kind of example, now it's similar to the words them where the director use Kristalina, where he say the Salone economy done the stable and it they urge the president for like continue the course. And that other part again, now other part where I want for Lona pay particular attention, me famble them, where he say it go urge the president for let it stay the course. What in that mean? Again, per economics, I go try for be as simple as very simple, like the layman, because to me, na for I want for learn able understand with the points then where they make now. So now that style where it talk about say it go urge the president for take that cause for stay the cause. It means several things, but I want for Leona know say for stabilize an economy, mostly Now what we call contractionary policies them where they affect the economy and grow one. Let's say now yeah, I dey use here example because yeah, then get two approach. Then get what they call the monetary approach. That's not the central bank. They take care of that. We part of it now for make sure say they take care of the inflation, they arrest them, and then that money business, in terms of the appreciation of the currency, they handle that as well. And some areas them then go try back for bring policies them we go stabilize the economy in general. They can also stimulate the economy in the sense that they can reduce interest rate, and then they go encourage people and for go trust money, and even businesses for go trust money and then spend. And then they go create more jobs and cause the economy for expand. But most times we they refer to stability for stabilize the economy. You get for use contractionary policies them way not to deliberate, but some of the consequence, the impact go mean say the economy go slow down. Inflation, for example, for stabilize inflation. Now, Canada, America, and plenty part of Europe, then get a target. Then get now Canada, yeah, we get a target. We the central bank a one inflation they between 1% and 3%. So 1% we call on the lower bound, 3% we call on the upper bound, and then the key target now for lady in the middle will go be 2%. So where it be 2% around that area there, we call them the natural rate of inflation. Again, I know for put boku boku things them, what in the mean is the way they say na natural rate or na rate way at that level the bank no need for do anything. They no need for stimulate the economy. They no also need for reduce the activity or contract the economy. So it dey on its own. So then they na area where the bank no need for intervene. So the target now for let it dey within that area they so the bank no get for affect the economy. So that's not monetary policy. So the fiscal policy, when a FISCAL, the fiscal policy, now the government, the way how the government they spend and all that thing in the now the fiscal policy. And then they mostly the policy where they add the aspects they now the finance minister. So Salone and plenty of we can place them. We know say monetary policy not too effective. Salone particularly that for like they use interest rate for stimulate the economy or for even increase things them like for reduce interest rate and all that. And I make some thinking they're very stubborn now Africa the inflation. So for reduce inflation now yeah the side the two that they target the first thing first now the interest rate. So for make sure say interest go up, then discourage people them, and inflation, you get two ways then where they go. They grow from the demand side where people them they buy things them and companies them all they kind of pay workers them and all that went out through the wage because of the boku boku that things them we are not going to explain too much. So now the demand side that one day. Then you get the supply side. The supply side now the cost way it happen for let the people away they make things them we then go produce for let me and you two they enjoy and stay for buy. So that side but plenty time the supply side it difficult for like the central bank able control because for example waiting they happen on the wall where President Biosef done they give reference to now the Russia Ukraine war. wey cause for the fuel price go up, and people and where they use natural gas all lengthen and they, and even food self like that grain, because Ukraine get the produce majority of the grain when our food, una know it's in a grain, right? So then thing and they are key to the supply cost pressure. So the demand side now in the central bank they make. So all this now just for let I will explain that stability. Say the economy don't stable. So where you look at the inflation, like I shown in our salon, is still high, but that example I give about the plane. But it look on the level of. And this, I say, it look down the level of me major concern though. I know say the director it try for be optimistic for encourage President Bill, but my major concern is I want for believe again. I want for make am clear. I not get no inside information. I not get no thing for say, oh now because of 100% this. So now waiting now based on me education and what we call inference. I they look at the different indicators them, and their indicators they then get what we call dependency. They can depend on each other. So where I put that dependency they together, I can will say likely now this they cause the inflation as Salone. Possible explanation for wetin make we see inside May, June, and now July, where after the election, where we see the inflation don stable. A possible say on a member, I don't know if una go member again, but some of una possibly go member with the new the new finance minister. It be talk about say the government, I think from January till immediately after the election or through the election, there be the subsidized fuel. And then they because when I remember back when they say, oh, fuel price don't look stable. Again, that word stable. And then they go up, jump again. So that stability there, for the most part, now because of the fuel subsidy. So now the election don't pass, and President Bill in November he get for face IMF they review, and part of the review where IMF can always discourage governments them now for run use subsidy where to them it cost the government. So that money where therefore used for subsidize either food or fuel, then key able, according to them, the government key able for use that money they for other projects them. So them believe say government not for subsidize particularly fuel. Maybe then go agree for let government subsidize education, health, but that fuel less then say no. And again, then other business system like if government say for example Sarah tell if government want for keep them going and for like maybe the data wanna they buy a amount low, government can decide for subsidize some of their activities them and let them reduce their cost. So government can able take care of some of them costs then they, and some businesses government can decide say, okay, well we need to collect tax. So then they then call them tax subsidy. So all their mechanism and the government can do that. But my concern now is whether they don't pull the fuel subsidy. So it go mean say we go see this inflation rate maybe in the next 2-3 months jump, because of they don't pull the subsidy, because they end the subsidy in June, and we know say it can take a while for let we see the numbers them, let the impact filter into the numbers them while then they produce them. So that's not a major concern, because I really not see any other thing where you go say now because of the government export engage in significant export or any other thing, or the currency appreciate so much that now the amount where we they use for import things them is smaller compared to before, then they save go reduce inflation. But we not see the currency significantly, even though again we be see people let me ask me, we be see the currency at one point before the election, I think about 2 weeks before the election, where the dollar versus the leones it go way down. And then again, I go reserve my judgment. But that policy they way they use, so I know saying that because of the election for full Sierra Leoneans them and feel say then thing that done better, then get under control. And now waiting it will be mean now because of then thing and the way that happen, it's like we they kick something down the road where you know say still there down the road you just get for waka a little bit 2 3 additional steps for go take them back, but you not pull them off the road at all. So that's a mean to me. So the question now is, dear me fumble them. Una way they say oh the woman all know it they talk and all anything and they I want for like una be patient. And if it can pass stabilizing the economy, that you are talk about contractionary policies. It means say deliberately the government for reduce spending and cut some programs them just for save money. So when I see why during the time where I be then a Matilda in show where Matilda be ask me for talk about the manifesto of APC and SLPP, I say them manifestos then they and I just word no more. But the reality is, Salone they face huge economic challenges. It no matter who's president will come. I be even make them clear to and say if even Samoa come, it will be very challenging for like it go turn the economy around within short period. Because what we call the fundamentals of Salone economy really bad. They against the economy, against the current situation. So, and it no matter whether you put the top notch economist and stuff, yes, you go get them right, but it not get for be instantaneous. Maybe you can bring policies, then we go encourage businesses, and then now go shorten the pain. But still, Salonga for go through a very painful situation, if at all it go better, because I want say it go through painful situation before it gets better, but I'm not able to see policies them in my opinion where the current administration they put together in place where for create that avenue. So what to me they see mostly they see like a guessing game. Let me take, for example, you remember they talk about saying one way, because of the monetary policy not effective, as Salone particularly, so most of the stabilization mechanism get for come up from the fiscal side, fiscal restraint, spending restraint. So the government get for take away their unnecessary spending and it prioritize. But I don't want to take the entire program for talk about this, but I just want for explain more in brief. Saying that that's that woman mean, and not necessarily mean say things that don't find the economy, the boom. No, no, no. That stabilization, it just happened almost see, particularly with the inflation. They go up now at a very slow pace. But then they, to me, I feel say now something with temporary. Once we the a filter into the subsidy where they don't lift up, we go begin see the inflation take off back. Because in my opinion, I go conclude in this way, but on this topic, my own opinion, I not see particular policies them in place we go give me confidence for say the economy go turn around anytime soon. I don't see that at all. So instead, President Bill still they on that plane in that play that game for blame somebody and stuff like that. So all that in my assessment, no, but they go well for the country at all and for the economy as a whole. So I hope say without using big jargons them, I able to explain to now waiting now the meaning of the statement where the director managing director of IMF be talk to President Bill and write now in tweet. So and nothing wrong though. We all for even be we for gladdy if this not to say the economy in stabilization is sustainable. I go really glad for that. But I not see say this slow growth in inflation, the rate of change of prices, sustainable. I don't see that at all. So now let we kind of I must apologize. I be really want for touch on this because it's a very sad story about waiting be happen today in a salon about that gun that person we use gun for create issues. So let we show that before after that we go play President Bill in speech UN, let we play in full. I be mean for cut but una no say where it come to Salone politics, where you try for do something in the interest of time, we think it happen. People then go accuse you, say, oh, you left that out because of whatever reason and all that. So no want for let that happen. I go suggest for let we watch the speech in entirety, like the full speech. Okay. But before we play President Bill in speech, I just want for let we listening to what happen at Salone today. And we very sad, me fumble them. And I go come right back after this. And maybe I go open the phone line if people can get for call, let them call and we talk a little bit about this issue because it's very troubling for let this thing happen. It can be somebody with mental health, unfortunately lost in life, we're not gonna know exactly within be the affect them. So, but let we show this and I go come right back, me fumble them for like we get a take on this particular issue. Una stay tuned, una not go no side, okay? Yeah, for some reason, the one way I want for sure, it kind of they stop. Okay, now I don't come on.
Face panic, and you see people all around the Leone. We get an eyewitness here. Tell them your name and baby. And then Victor. Victor, tell me exactly what you see. Well, actually, we come now this bank here so today for come money. But like about 4 to 5 billion at the queue. But we maybe sit down corner side with and go on the OSD money. So like any big fish guy, we let's say a big fish come and maybe better than say a bank deal they say they gonna hand. He says they want kill, just for kill. So like a bank deal in an area, don't I? It say the gun. And they get one with the gun, it goes and don't so. But like we want after I'm saying we should get another parent, thief. So the moment so we say people crowd up people, it's all a begin open firing. And open firing say car up here, it can meet up one soldier guy before they come up so they can down there. So an open firing by the soldier guy, he shoots at one time, but like the guy didn't bullets proof, so the bullets never enter. So like the second time when he shoots, the guy for Butsu, but like Butsu, the bullets miss the guy and one lady beats not behind the soldier guy where the bullets can miss near it is. So as the guy the Butsu where they grab again in the big fish, 2 shots now inside. So like in the dome. a guy. The people can't get up but like a shoot one lady we don't even go through the emergency because like the bullets needs so they don't go to the emergency. Thank you very much. And you know from the eyewitness we just explain they don't narrate the whole scenario. That's exactly how it happened. As they say, it starts from down the bank and from here then come we then get to exchange. We get another person that's also a witness. What's your name? I'm the digital logo. They normally call me what's aside. What's exactly what you see? Well, I didn't have a shop because now we get a computer shop in Uganda. We just say gunshots, understand? So people in the run, so many boxes, so many go through, understand? Because the guy, we say up in Uber Science, I come by Swazi, understand? So now we come on a do. So we all come on a do. Now we just see and we in the camp. First way it start first now up it begin fire. It begin fire up from Swazi, Tikaya. So people become panic, people in one go so one cancel. You understand? We all don't become fear, we all don't scared. You understand? So now you kill it, you don't have situation, it's mark middle the street. Now you want soldier man come. If you don't talk bike, you like man I go to me to go. You just witness the thing. Now you can down on the bike. You can down on the bike. When you can down, you know, I don't say I team up with him man to man. You understand? I try to tell and say calm down. The shooter, the guy will talk to the shooter now. Calm down, not do anything. You understand? The man still don't leg. So the man I go this gun or shoot the man, which the man still anger. So when shoot the soldier, you understand? And the soldier man balance. Because the bullets, you guys have even one man the bullets catch. You know, waiting the next shot to leave. Because the bullets I will enter. So the guy now as the man shoots and him back pulling gun, I shoot and twice. So the man night walk. You know. Yes. But apart from that, the bullets we always say scratch. I know another one is I know you have another person. I know more. But I think it don't skip me now because they don't go to emergency. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Brother Jalo, just want to explain to you in your side of the story. You find out say that similar narration everybody they give. This incident starts from bank and we say disarm the police officer, the female police officer in weapon, take an eye hand and they begin shoots, carry on. Say Richard he gets an encounter with this military personnel where instead they exchange fire. Where the guy shoots, I mean they are damage somebody like this, but the person said they don't know it's an emergency. We got follow up for know the person condition, how in situation they currently. But these are the situation, but they don't cover the blood, the area outside blood be cover the video. We find out say the blood is spread all over, but the security personnel they don't come and try to make everything normal at this place. Then cover the blood with sand and they don't ask people then for make traffic continue for flow. But maybe then they just block the road, whole place be blocked. Nobody know they move. Now so the place with the situation with Tarek now. As you can see plenty security personnel presence now securing the area. But as you know from my witness, it's an alleged a person with them commonly called Big Fish. It is some female police officer in weapon iron and later kind shoots sporadically at the air, not particularly on any person, sporadically at the air. They say they get getting remarks say one kill today, until they encounter this military officer, they tell and say calm down, halt, and agree, and he shoots at the military officer twice, but I think the military officer begins a bulletproof, and later the military officer himself retaliates and he shoots him. Currently they say him body in a mortuary. And we still in like football streets. We try to talk to more people. We even try to get military personnel we go talk to. As you can see, military personnel currently park. I see they talk to one eyewitness where be there. Where he said, but actually at narrate story. And you see, I think some sort of interview they will try to get with him. So we're in the midst of military personnel. I would still go on. Mark, we talk to this eyewitness quick. Tell family name and what are you be?
When I go back at Jano, when I bike rider.
How about you did exactly where everything happened?
Yeah. We been a UBA bank, so I can't meet with the by pap. So when meet with the night talk, say, hey, what kids today? But me now, I said big fish, because I knew me one day. Now I say big fish, I said no fine. I said people know about what you talk to. I said that against that, no fine. Then they say 1 kilo. So this the one that is a woman be doing now, and lady born in lap. So you might know a papa if they eat or a tortilla by like they eat. So I jog the gun at my hand, my lap. So when jog the gun, the woman tell for all arm. The gun in waist, I knock the mount. Then the man drop. So say 1 kilo. So where was the gun? That was only gun. If it pass 4 to 5, that was only gun and gun. So for me, I like left full now. It will not come there and say 1 kilo. I will raise the gun up, like farm. So me talk for Kaya now. Once the man will come up from up so on top bike. So now the soldier man when you the gun show, now the soldier man can't go. Then the soldier man say, so can I say he be gone? I say no. Then the soldier man back he be gone. Then the soldier man say no. So the external talk 1, 2. Like talk the gun. So I found the soldier. When found the soldier, the one bullet knock here. Meet up a woman wound here. I far by the soldier man. The soldier man leave on a gun. If he says the soldier man don't die, let him on a gun. So now tell me a turn. Then the soldier man grab. And neither like far one. I got 2 shots. I blew up. So that's what happened.
Thank you very much for what you talk to me. You don't really same narration, just the same thing. And today we don't know the soldier man, but that soldier man is right now the hero of the day. Where everybody they praise that he come and rescue the situation and finally put an end to the threats where civilians have to go through. But currently that's they explain. The incident starts from UBA Bank, which it take the weapon from a female police officer in hand. He even hits the police officer and take the weapon in hand forcefully. They just shoot sporadically up the air. They threaten say they want to kill today until they come exactly at this T junction in between Gloucester Street and like Football Street. Which and the military officer gets an altercation exchange and tell him putting weapon down. He shoots twice as the military officer and the final say one of the bullets a damage one woman in yes they say it in a
All right, from Bulem, again, this is a very, very sad story for Salone. Sadly enough, we be posting a VOS and somebody again when I remember where I start the program, I say everybody in a democracy, everybody get right to an opinion. But sadly enough, somebody try for use politics into this. And the comment talk about say, oh, we always they post negative things them and all that. Like try for politicize them. This is something we're very sad. And the phone lines they're open. I just want for you to take on this before we go to President Bill in speech, in UN speech. But let we talk about this a little bit. We know very well saying as Salone, we not get proper training. And also the mental health. We now we just all lump everything say Chris man. But the healthcare people them they know say mental health, you get different aspects of it. You get some way but off we get mental health issue. But it just mild. And not reach to that level where it will be disruptive. Sometimes in there that way where some person there you talk to and you ask the one quick. Tendency they can be saying a mental health issue. It get mental health issue. But because we not get experts, and the thing where me believe so for tell God thank you, when I up the eye they shoot. And I believe say he feel threatened by the soldier man, now he make They decide, and again, they don't kill him. Or no go know past like how did they interview eyewitnesses then so. We not gonna know specifically waiting be the run at this guy mind or waiting at the specific reason. Because unless somebody say, oh, I feel for guilty and stuff, it highly likely me not to health professional, but given the situation, them similar situation that we can they happen at them party of the wall, the first thing we can kind of people in mind, especially where it not specify, say now this person I want go kill, whether na revenge or something where somebody do harm, or it go to that specific bank day because then turn them down or whatever it is. We don't get any evidence of that. The eyewitness do not say anything like that. Rather than a general comment and say, I want kill person today. So mostly, now people with mental health can just generally say anything in the without specification. So this now wake up call for Sierra Leone, for the authorities them. Beaucoup people even the one they wake up abroad, even we wake come abroad, plenty of we not go through proper counseling. That war we will go through. So Monday they go through depression up until now. We see how they killing parents them. We see they do terrible things them before then. So man, up till now, it can they get nightmare. But because of the stigma we don't put by this kind thing, mental health, where if somebody begins saying anything and they the first thing we go come, now people their mind then go say na Christmas. And we all, even if we know say we not fine, we depressed or we get some mental issues, we need to come forward for Sam because of the stigma. So this are the sort of emphasize, say this now wake up call for Salone. Again, me people the phone lines they're open. Let we talk about this. Now something we very, very important. This now something we scary. Now God in Sarah will make Boku people do not die. And imagine, look the kind area, mostly na area where Boku people in Kine, a populated area of the city. For thing like that they happen, na one person die and mean solo nobody not die except him. The soldier man self, Tego thank you that he be get a bullet vest, we prevent him or we protect him, I go say. So me fumble them. That thing will happen. And the other thing we again adjust the try for Rob Mott. Some people then go say, oh, let me not show them too much because you go get copycat. Now that make naya, then can be very careful. But I really want for let we analyze them. Again, the phone numbers they're open. I go encourage you to follow on a call before we go to the next topic. We now President Bill in interview and also the one force in speech now the UN. So given that we for in the interest of time, let us play the UN speech and in a long speech we in about 20 something minutes. But I love it to patient. The one that we don't watch them already, they wanna just kind of watch them back. Sometimes certain things then they way wanna be miss, wanna not be able to get the first time wanna watch them. So I go encourage you for watch them back. Let we all come back and analyze the speech. I go come right back after the speech. Thank you.
The Assembly will hear an address by His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. I request protocol to escort His Excellency. On behalf of the General Assembly, I have the honor to welcome His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, and to invite him to address the Assembly.
Your Excellency Dennis Francis, President of the General Assembly, Your Excellency Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, Excellencies, colleague heads of states and government, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, permit me to extend my heartfelt congratulations on your auspicious assumption of the presidency of the 78th session of the General Assembly. My delegation and I stand unwaveringly by your side, committed to fortifying the bedrock of global unity during your tenure. I offer my profound respect and gratitude to your predecessor, Mr. Saba Kurusi of Hungary, whose deft stewardship of the 77th session is a guiding beacon for all. To our esteemed Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres, your dedication to weaving together the strands of global consensus for battling poverty, planetary crisis, and championing sustainable development goal is a testament to your leadership. Mr. President, the soul of Sierra Leone, echoing the spirit of Pan-Africanism, resonates with the clarion call of this year's theme: rebuild trust and reignite global solidarity. A testament to our enduring democratic spirit was showcased on June 24th, when in free, fair, and peaceful multi-tier elections, the Sierra Leonean people elected their leaders across various tiers of governance. My re-election as president for a second final term serves not merely as an endorsement of my leadership, but a solemn testament to my government's commitment to fashioning a Sierra Leone that thrives as a united, peaceful, and dynamic bastion of hope and opportunity. A nation where our aspirations for abundant jobs, food security, quality education, and equitable healthcare are not mere dreams, but manifest realities, where justice and opportunities are not mere prerogatives of a few, but the birthright of all. Mr. President, in the face of global upheavals, from the pandemic to geopolitical tensions exemplified by the war in Ukraine and the ensuing food crisis, my first term stood as a beacon of our commitment to democratic freedoms and human rights. We rooted out the unpleasant legacies of the past, repealing antiquated laws such as the seditious libel statute that lingered for half a century. We consigned the death penalty to the annals of history and charted bold advances against the scourge of corruption. Our devotion to education was unambiguous. Over 800,000 new learners were introduced under our aegis, and we significantly augmented domestic educational funding, ensuring it constituted an average of 22% of our national budget. We champion an ethos of radical inclusion, providing unfettered and tuition-free access to quality primary and secondary school education for all. In our unwavering commitment to dismantle the barriers of gender inequality, my administration declared a state of emergency on the heinous crime of rape and sexual and gender-based violence. Sierra Leone urged the global community for solidarity on access to justice and remedies for survivors of sexual violence, and the recognition of November 18 by this General Assembly as World Day for the prevention of healing from sexual exploitation, abuse, and violence. Our Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Act of 2022 shows our commitment to equality. With this act, have proudly inscribed our nation's pledge to reserve a minimum of 30% of seats in elected and appointed offices for women, ensuring equal employment opportunities, lengthening maternity leaves, and compelling our financial institutions to chart pathways that amplify women's access to financial resources that they so rightfully deserve. As I step into my second term, Mr. President, my government has carved out 5 pillars that guide our national development trajectory to spur sustainable development and social progress. Food security. 1, food security, intertwined with investment in agriculture, is poised to not just to feed our nation, but to fuel job creation, propel economic growth, and alleviate the weight of poverty. 2, human capital development, meticulously crafted for the modern era with a special lens for gender equality. 3, youth employment scheme. This promises our younger generation that their energy, passion, and ambition will find fertile ground in Sierra Leone. 4, cutting-edge technology and infrastructure program. This is conceptualized to pave sustainable pathways of economic ascent. And a thorough revamp of public service architecture, refining its essence for utmost efficiency, professionalism, and service delivery. SDGs towards peace, prosperity, progress, and sustainability for all. Mr. President, 78 years ago, the United Nations was born from the profound understanding that peace, development, and human rights are inextricably intertwined. Each element nourishes the other, creating an equilibrium essential for global harmony. As we stand at this juncture, let us remember that the noble ambitions enshrined in the Charter of the United Nations to foster international cooperation, to confront and surmount challenges, be they economic, social, cultural, or humanitarian in nature. It is in unity and shared purpose that the promise of a brighter, just, and peaceful world is realized. The resonant theme of this General Assembly, therefore, opens a horizon of possibilities, beckoning us to harmoniously forge ahead in the shared pursuit of accelerating actions on the 2030 Agenda and its sustainable development goals towards peace, prosperity, progress, and enduring sustainability for all. Our world faces formidable challenges: widespread poverty, persistent hunger, the looming shadow of climate change, and the unsettling presence of sustained and emerging conflicts. To honor our 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development commitments, member states of the United Nations must rekindle the fires of trust and galvanize a renaissance of global solidarity. Trust requires a harmonious amalgamation of our collective wisdom and resources. Solidarity mandates our unwavering cohesion, even when navigating different and opposing philosophical terrains. In pursuing the 2030 Agenda, we must resolve to leave no one behind. We must fervently champion inclusivity, recognizing the intrinsic value of every individual, irrespective of their circumstances. Progress has been made, but we acknowledge that the road ahead is challenging. However, this challenge also presents an opportunity for innovation and collaboration and reimagining our global priorities. ECOWAS region as peace and security. Mr. President, we view with deep concern the rising tides of insecurity and the subtle erosion of democratic governance and ideas in the West African sub-region and the Sahel. Sierra Leone raises its voice alongside our ECOWAS allies, expressing unequivocal dissent towards an extra-constitutional changes of government. Such challenges to the very bedrock of our democracy threaten the stability of individual nations and the fabric of our collective African identity. Why we stand united? It is not simply a call to maintain things as they are. Real stability and lasting peace don't come from resisting threats or building defenses. Instead, they arise from genuine, open conversations. True dialogue requires that everyone at the negotiating table must be ready to seek and find common ground. Why we emphasize the importance of dialogue, we cannot ignore the crucial reality. The ongoing threats to our continent's constitutional stability are signs of deeper problems. Every action that undermines the rule of law is connected to underlying issues. These range from past and present injustices to the burden of poverty, widespread unemployment, and the dangers of discrimination. Our duty is clear. We must lift our people from poverty. We should focus on creating jobs and supporting industries that benefit our countries and our continent. Mr. President, national electoral reforms. Elections as vehicles of democratic transformation fortify governance and allow peaceful transitions. After our nation's multi-tier elections on June 24th, we stand resolved to strengthen our democratic foundation, recognizing the significance of deepening our democracy. I have instituted a National Electoral Systems Review Committee to address historical challenges to our electoral processes. Since our first multi-tier elections were conducted after the Civil War in 2002, the electioneering process has been plagued with persistent challenges, including contestations of declared presidential election results by the constitutionally mandated Electoral Commissioner. To address these historical challenges and consolidate our democratic gains, a comprehensive review of the electoral system is necessary to reform Sierra Leone's electoral landscape. The National Electoral Systems Review Committee will comprise the government, civil society, political parties, professional organizations, and development partners. It holds the mantle of evaluating existing frameworks, institutional arrangements, and observer mission reports. Its mandate extends to proposing vital reforms fortifying Sierra Leone's electoral integrity. These actions encapsulate our commitment to forging a fertile environment for dialogue, affirming democratic governance, and fostering enduring peace. Mr. President, it is regrettable to note the decision of certain member states to introduce unilateral cohesive measures, including visa restrictions on Sierra Leonean citizens following the recent multi-tier national elections. We observe that such unilateral measures, which are in contravention of international law, have sometimes been the response to electoral outcomes in other African nations to exert political pressure. As members of the international rules-based community, African states strive for sovereignty and meaningful cooperation based on mutual respect and understanding. In democratic processes, every democracy faces unique challenges. However, the essence of sovereignty, as contained in the UN Charter, is the ability of member states to address and resolve internal matters independently and without external pressure. In our engagement on the international stage, we hope for understanding and mutual respect, especially on important issues like national elections. Constructive dialogue and open channels of communication should be the pillars of our global interaction and not punitive, unilateral, cohesive measures that do not further the entrenchment of democracy, but instead strain relations between nations. Sierra Leone remains steadfast in its commitment to free, fair, and credible elections alongside our dedication to the rule of law. We believe that democratic progress is a journey, and its pace varies from one nation to another. We respect the individual paths countries have taken in their quest for democracy and anticipate the same level of understanding and respect for ours. We aspire to nurture relationships rooted in solidarity, cooperation, and mutual respect, all directed towards a shared global future. United Nations Security tenure. As Sierra Leone takes its non-permanent seat at the United Nations Security for the 2024-2025 term after a hiatus of 53 years, we are deeply aware of our shared duty to uphold international peace and security. The profound nexus between peace, development, and human rights will be the beacon guiding our priorities. We stand poised, resolute, and committed to forging a world where these ideas are not mere aspirations, but enduring realities for all. Sierra Leone fully subscribes to the ideas of multilateralism as a tool for global peace and security. Our vision is to serve as the vital conduit linking ECOWAS community of the West African states, the African Union, and the nations in focus with the Security Council. As we yearn for tranquility and justice, we pledge our commitment to collaborate with the 5 permanent members of the Security Council and as part of the 10 elected members and the 3 African representatives. Reform of the UN Security Council. Mr. President, Sierra Leone recognizes the pressing issue of Security Council's legitimacy, equitable representation, and transparency. In a world reshaped by geopolitical realities, true global peace and security hinge on reforms and the rejuvenation of United Nations Security Council and the UN General Assembly. Joined by fellow United Nations member states, Sierra Leone committed at the 2005 World Summit to support reforms of the Security Council as essential elements of our overall effort to reform the United Nations, to make it more broadly representative, efficient, transparent, and thus to enhance further its effectiveness and the legitimacy and implementation of its decisions. While the discourse has seen forward movement, the historical injustices endured by the African continent remain unresolved at the intergovernmental negotiations. Africa, glaringly, stands alone as the only region without permanent representation within the Security Council and is conspicuously unrepresented in its non-permanent category. The United Nations security remains trapped in the era of 1945, when much of Africa was still in the regrettable grip of colonialism. We must not allow this colonial ethos to persist 3/4 of a century later. Africa demands for 2 permanent seats, complete with commensurate rights, including the veto, is maintained, if maintained, and 5 non-permanent seats are issues of equity, justice, and our right to have an equal say in the decision-making on issues that affect the African region. Our conviction is steadfast. Security Council reform should squarely confront these long-standing inequity and imbalance, addressing Africa's unique circumstances. As the coordinator of the African Committee of 10 Heads of State and Government on the reform of the United Nations Security Council, Sierra Leone will continue to advocate and garner support among member states and other interest groups for the common African position as enshrined in the Eswini Consensus and SADC Declaration. We will also envisage infusing the working methods of the Council to instill transparency, accountability, democracy, and ultimately renewed legitimacy. Climate change. Mr. President, our collective pursuit of sustainable development confronts the triple planetary crisis of pollution, climate change, and biodiversity loss. Despite contributing minimally to these crises, Sierra Leone remains intensely vulnerable to their repercussions, a reality compounded by our limited capacity to cope. Our National Adaptation Plan, launched in 2018 as an embodiment of our commitment, designed to have our vulnerability by 2030, it underscores risk awareness, regulatory enhancement, institutional empowerment, and gender-responsive adaptation strategies. Sierra Leone seeks equitable and timely access to climate financing. We request unfettered access to leverage new climate change adaptation and mitigation technologies and shared knowledge. Our salvation from the escalating climate change crisis lies in collective wisdom and concerted efforts. Global solidarity. In today's complex world, the urgent need to rebuild trust and strengthen global unity stands out. We must adopt a cooperative approach, set aside individualistic actions, and promote shared progress based on common values. As we deal with disputes of sovereignty and self-determination across the world, we must also resolve to do so with dialogue, exhausting all avenues for peaceful resolution. Conclusion. In this evolving multipolar world, where conflicts ripple across borders and power dynamics are in flux, we must recognize our shared interests and intertwined destinies. The multifaceted crisis challenging our global community demands unified action, for our collective strength is determined by our most vulnerable segments. The voices we make today, the choices we make today, have far-reaching implications for tomorrow. We stand at a crossroads. One path takes us to mere rhetorical commitments to equity and solidarity, while the other beckons us to act with conviction, driven by profound belief in equity and justice, economic justice, social justice, political justice, Let us choose wisely, for the fate of generations to come hinges on the decisions we make now. Thank you.
On behalf of the Assembly, I wish to thank the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone for the statement just made, and I request protocol to escort His Excellency.
All right, Fambulem, Widoyai, the interview, the speech, the UN speech where the President gives, so I'll take una calls them, the phone line they open, and let we begin take calls them. VOS Network, hello caller, waiting your name and who say they call from? Hello caller, waiting your name and who say they call from? Um, Caller, you there? All right, I don't get any indication, like say, I don't know where till they gone. But if not the same caller, we need to get you clearly. So, hello? All right, well, call we back. I don't get any indication, say the lines don't get any issue. All right, Fambulem, the phone lines they're open. Again, I don't get any indication of any issues with the phone lines. But clearly the phone lines they're open. So let we hear what you again for say. And Fambulem, while I wait for the calls them, I don't know if really na the phone line they get issue, but again, as I say, on a call, while we wait for the calls them, I want for just give a little bit of me take in terms of waiting we hear President Bill. And one thing where I go make very clear, because I dey read the comments them and probably let they display the comments them and address them. But again, let we be mindful for be respectful, please. Let we be respectful in the comments them, and the one them way. Unfortunately, we go begin peak. The one they will feel say disrespectful, we not go display them. And I want for say a couple of things, fumble them. Again, I go sort of while I dey talk, if una one for call, any call we come on, I will take that call there. I will just pause me comment. So I don't know if let talk first, but the positives. The positive things them. Me now one person way up till now I be get concerned about the ECSL, the way how they conduct the election and how they declare the result. And sadly enough, we then pull some by district, the presidential data by district and by region. Now VOS Naya, I do the math, add up. So the calculation wrong. And now based on that calculation, they then call President Bias the winner. So then they put aside, and we all know, say, leading to that, we then just pull the aggregate way in a total and give we, but people then complain, including myself. And the APC up to now then say they want the disaggregated data by polling station. They only publish them by district and by region. So for me, I feel say that they be sufficient. But unfortunately though, because of the numbers them shamefully get calculation errors, so now myself go push, say go make sense for let we see the disaggregated result by polling station, where we go able for know if whether or not the errors then they are deliberate or maybe the mistake somewhere. So we go able catch who said a mistake. So in terms of the overall speech, I don't know how President Bill intend for push in terms of this journey we it embark on. And I intend, if time permit, for talk about the interview we do now in old school, in college, it's with the America. So that interview day, it's like if we don't make up the case, and then they come through from this speech, say, okay, this is not the journey we want for embark on for fight against quote and unquote the colonial powers. And in your opinion or in your own assessment, a time for talk about the pressure Salone during the election. And I will come to that speech day because for people that that interview day, for people that we not watch them, let them go watch them back. But for this speech, I sort of want to take the positive. So that journey day, I'm not too sure if na fight way it go able win. Because for like it just like you picking where you born. After 18, then place where we day, an adult. It can left use either voluntarily or you kick them out. Now adult. The law say na adult. And the only time where you go still get responsibility for take care of the Pekin for Canada and the US, I'm not too sure about Europe. You get, if it go school, it in a college, you get up to age 25 for take care of for be dependent. If you not get any health issue, like if you're not disabled and things like that, everything normal. Panam. So, but after 25, you can do all the line. After 18, you can kick them out. You go able for you go support them legally according to the law. You're supposed for continue for support them, and then in something way una can come to agreement with. You can continue for support them till 25. After 25, then everything else na privilege, not a right. So President Bill, now that comparison where I give, analogy where I give about you picking. Yes, will you begin turn 18? An adult. But guess what? That picking if it go for himself, he left you else. Now just that Cumbria Act no more. But anything we go meet the law now in for take care of himself. Now in for take care of anything we meet there. But I not go make say, oh, me na adult, I don't big and this and that. And then it still they come now Oscar eat you food. When you tell them say no do this, if it tear you. And then he still expect for come now us for can eat you food. Now that kind of thing the president Bill they do so. It quote about sovereignty. Yes, Salone don't get independence since 1961. But waiting at independence. Independence mean you don't big. You able to take care of yourself. So you're not supposed to ask anybody. But guess what? We all know, say any major development na Salone, it gets either US or the European handprint as sponsor. Almost every. Up onto to the place who side they make laws, we're supposed to be a sacred place na Salone. Now the European Union be renovate that place there. Dam Bridge. Let me take a call. I go pause here. VS Network. Hello caller. What's your name and who say the call from, please? Go ahead.
My name Mohammed. I call from UK.
Thank you so much, Mohammed. Go ahead, please. What's your take on the program tonight?
Well, my take on the program tonight is that particularly the actually I just fortunate for watch some of within Madabi say. It was so horrible, really bad, very poor delivery. The man get his script right in front of our neighbor reader. It seems like he, he looks or he seems like somebody where they left now at. You get me? Given the circumstances of the election, he just dey push himself no more than anything we see the gripper. It's so disgraceful the way he delivered today. Very, very unpresidential. If he was to be questioned, if he was to be cross-examined on the script every day, I doubt if he will be able to say anything. Even if they ask any question on that script, he not be able to say anything. He really disgraced himself because also he disgraced. It's so shameful. That's all I wanted to say.
All right. So waiting are the things them, and also you talk about in general term, but waiting are the specific areas them, because in terms of delivery, again, it can be an art. Some people and they even to way they write, they're not able for read them flawlessly. So then
Well,
they me I think say let we give 'em a pass, say no to somebody way eloquent.
to be honest with you, I'm not even talking about eloquence here. What they
Okay.
talk about is just the poor delivery generally. The speech too long, and maybe the no see the man in he's deficient, he can't read properly. They for them perhaps just get something very short. He not able read at all with him be get before him. And that position we hold, I think you need for no say. He's representing all of us in the country. Well, of course, I can put it that way to say he represents all of we. But
So what about the
he
message
was
itself? Like
the
the
message
message.
was good in terms of the message was brilliant. It's very good. You get me? But you did try for defend something or you did pursue a goal. Where you don't even know what it is. That's really the point I'm trying to make. They're not going to just go give you something for read. You get me? And able to defend them. Like I'm a lawyer. You know, go give me brief. You get me? I go no more court. I go team up. I begin to read from script. Waiting that judge could take. In the first place, you don't lose your case. You get me? You dey lost on straight on the face of it. If you go, you only script to begin with that. We only prepare for court, but not to see the one. And that is, I mean, the sort of thing he's doing is making submission for Africa as a whole. If for preparing himself, and not to today he don't begin push for this. I remember maybe his first time he was pushing for that. So at least if you don't know what he wants and he wasn't able to deliver at all. That's my view.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your point. You get anything else for say? Um,
You already don't touch that side in terms of the election. We want Mediman, let him disclose everything. Or we have a rerun of the election. It's as straight as it is. We hope APC go push for that. And if they don't,
so
then they
how
don't disappoint democracy in the same time.
again? I know for put you on the spot, but
You can. I'm ready for that all the time. Yeah, I'm peace.
okay. Oh, okay, that's good. While we dey wait for another call, I don't know if there's something wrong with we lines then, but people are can try back. While we dey wait for other calls, them I just get some couple of questions there for ask you, especially where you say in terms of rerun of the election. How then they go be possible? Because I don't ask plenty APC people them, they're still not able to give me correct. I mean, to answer like we go able explain the path of that possibility there.
Well,
Help walk me
mm,
through. Again, I know one for
yes.
put you on the spot, sir.
No,
You
put
can
me.
answer
I'm ready
or
for that. I'm,
okay,
I'm, I'm prepared all the time. I'm always being put on the spot. I'm ready for that. My
okay.
view is
Thank you for
this,
that.
right?
Yes.
The election, the international community don't make it clear, say, not credible. Okay? Say, if them produce the, the result, by polling stations as the APC they ask, and then they find out say no win. Of course, then now a rerun, isn't it? Straight as that. I mean,
So
that's my
so so
view.
so 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 you feel say it will happen automatically?
Um,
How? Explain,
yeah,
because you
okay, I see
say
your point.
rerun.
Waiting me see though is that the likelihood for let this happen it's not gonna be easy, because to be honest, say if them disclose the results and it happens, say the thing is not correct. The question is, will Mada even run again? Because he don't embarrass himself. You get me? So,
Okay,
in my view, maybe
okay.
waiting they need for do they need to have a form of government of national unity for a year or two. Then think of I mean having another election. We perhaps then will get a neutral body now for looking to for run the election, for manage election processes. Them or when I say neutral, have all the parties involved because we're not sovereign state. Get all APC mandate inside. You get me? The international community get involved in the appointment or the basically appointment of the electoral commissioner, those type of things. But it's so disgraceful. Mother Busey in the architect of democracy in Sierra Leone. But it's so sad the way we see things that they go. He's a despot on all fronts. That is my
Okay.
view, yes.
Yeah. Again, Brother Ahmed, thank you very much for where you take time for explain all this. But still, though, we get a gap here. So I know say always you say now wishful thinking, you the wishful let that happen. But you're not a lawyer, as you say. Now process.
Yes, I am a
Election.
practicing
It,
lawyer here in England.
sorry.
I practice law in England.
Okay. Okay. So, but let's say generally you get the concept.
Yeah, I guess
So
I guess.
yes. So now the thing we are still not able to get from you is the mechanism. From your understanding,
Mm.
the president they call for election after 5 years. A call for election. Not to even ECSL they call for election, not the
I
president.
agree. I agree.
Yes, according to the constitution. So the presidents don't do that call, don't make that call day, they don't run the election, and constitutionally ECSL for announce the winner, they don't announce the winner, and I be done now this program I be done explain clearly the act, then take the act to the minimum, saying anyhow it didn't fit able for publish the result. So to it didn't fit say for publish the aggregate, the total. But now out of pressure now, we the lawyer Maya, we he push him,
I mean,
he
man
decide
on the human rights. Many see you a few
okay,
days ago in London.
that's good. So he decide for publish the disaggregated result, presidential result by district and by region. However, we are crack the numbers then they inconsistent. They don't add up. But the fact now of the matter is outside of the president, because the president will just call another election before 5 years. So outside of the president, the only institution we get that mandate today for order, because in our order, now
Yep.
the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court now by themselves not just get for order. Somebody get for bring case to them, a complaint. They look into it, look at the evidence, and then make the ruling. So now let APC people then walk me through how by magic Salone go do a rerun.
That's
That
a
that
difficult one.
that
I agree
that,
with
that
you. I fully agree. It's a difficult one, and I think it's gonna be a very tough one for let that happen because the APC not believe in the court system, which I can understand. A man, I believe in the court system. Whichever way you look at it, it's unfortunate that that has not been considered. But in fairness to them again, then things if they go to courts, they no go get what they want, as in the case of Nigeria. So perhaps that one is a very
Yes.
turning point. To be honest, it's very hard
Yeah, so
for
so so
for
you
for
so you self agree in terms of the possibility, yeah, because by
yeah.
magic, like I say, BO it can only call them after every 5 years,
That's right. I
and
agree with you.
worst case scenario, if even BO like how you say out of shame or whatever it is or pressure, he resign automatically, na vice they take over. So who side this
That's right.
rerun they come out? Who side APC then feel say, and the international body not gets that mandate day. As you have
They don't.
say, Salone a sovereign country. So even where not just like then kind of then go do like how US do so. Then give restriction on and I go talk about that way President Bill talk about unilateral and stuff like that. If you able prove the case for whatever interest, something in your interest. Yes, according to the U.S. Immigration law, and we then quote nada south side the article or the press release, then quote that as part of the immigration law. So for let matter bill say, oh, now against a UN kind of agreement or whatever it is. I don't understand how we get that, but I know I'm for only too much on the too long on the line. But I just
Yeah.
want like APC brother or sister explain to me, say, and then give 6 months, say within 6 months this will happen. How magically that's go happen? Wait, not to the
And
Supreme Court to get for call a rerun.
it's gonna be a difficult one, and I think say APC need for also get then teams and together when they make any ultimatum. They have to consider the possibilities, and not, I mean those things are not possible. I think they lack in that area to some extent. You see,
Yeah.
because the possibility really for let this happen is very unlikely.
A
You know,
very, very, when me go say negligible, it not gonna be zero, but
yeah,
negligible.
very
You
very
know, a
unlikely.
very remote. And one last thing though, I don't say I'm severally. To me, the only time this will be possible if we disrupt democracy, meaning
That's what I
military.
was gonna think. That's right.
Sorry?
That's the only possibility. That's what I was
Yes,
thinking as well.
exactly.
That's the only option now we have. Because
And
then
that's
if we have the obstruction, the question will be, could they say then to return a democratically elected president? You know,
exactly.
given the
Exactly.
circumstances, the answer will be
Yes.
no, in my view. So left
Anyway,
to
thank you so
demand
much.
it now. You know what I mean? Demand the way they thinks they need to do something for save democracy by doing the right thing. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you very
I
much.
think
And
they
to
will get our
me, yeah,
support.
yeah, to me, I know really appreciate APC folks them for the position where they put the country because it really terrible and it dangerous. So thank you so
Yeah, it
much, my
is.
brother. God bless you,
No
sir.
problem. Thank you very much.
All
Bye
right.
bye. Bye bye.
Bye. Fambul them, I want for say beaucoup thank you to we brother and I'm glad you for we you take the time and be on the line because now something we they bother me. I don't send invitation. For like APC folks them can explain to VOS to me and the viewers them. Yes, they say now that they want. They want for like Salon do a rerun. But the thing way the gap from that request day, they're not able to explain to Sierra Leoneans then the path, the peaceful. Now I want to use that as a caveat. The underlining word there is the peaceful path to a rerun of the election. So, in my opinion, it's more or less a rhetoric, like just talk, as Tenki Sampa Creole. Now, just talk, and then they make them very, very difficult for the country, and to some extent dangerous, because they go reach a point because of the donkey 6 months. As we they go closer to that 6 months, and then no say peace in a peaceful means this of them concern or this of them demand not viable in all water and then push say if will happen I they see possibility of letting turn to a means where not desirable for the development of the country. All right, let's try the main line as well again. VOS Network. Hello, caller. What's your name and you say the call from?
Hello, I'm a Constance. I'm calling from US.
All right, concerned citizen. Thank you very much. And what's your take on the issue tonight?
Um, I really um, appreciate your analysis. For the first time, I've really fully respected your reasoning and your calculation on this. So far, the analysis you've done so far. And talking about um, the speech, it believes the hello.
Yeah, I still hear you. Go ahead, please.
Maybe let's say the speech was constructive, educative, and right on the point. And the question of a lot of times we Israelis they blame the president, they not the levy from him. And second of all, there's so much conspiracy theory on aspect of something they behind, a lot too much behind, which they don't know, that they assume say now and have summary a lot of times the government they come up with for just cover up situations. In the case of the situation where it exposed the America is very hypocritical in the world stage. Simple example, the instances of, for example, with Ukraine. Ukraine is one of the most corrupt countries, but they are pouring in billions of dollars for the war there. The small $400 million will be give to all people there. Remember, say that contract there for the M60. If any reason the United States will never give the government of Sierra Leone that fund, if they hire private contractors, that money they come out from the U.S. government direct to the contractors, they go to the project, whatever they fund for the poor people of Sierra Leone. If they can withhold that for the detriment of the government of Sierra Leone, you compare that with the kind of money where they spend. Now Ukraine, so a corrupt country, fundamentally corrupt, they are doing that. You can imagine the hypocrisy of America. Now America, I'm a citizen of America, but I can tell you, say, if you not get valid results and evidence of the communication which transpired, it's important for making expose the hypocrisy of America. Because even if it is business, all gentry pass, whatever, there's a parable where they say, former gentry pass something, whatever that is. Instead of it is business, then you just go now the world stage and cry me down for minor little errors, which is none of my fault. It is the constitution that constitutes the procedure of the electoral process. And you are now causing the poor people for lose that kind of money. Because that money not they go to the government. It not they go to the government of Sierra Leone. It's meant for the poor people. Light, electricity, water, and all of that. That was meant for that 400 million. So it's just an example where the government is saying, if, let's say, Leone would have done that, it was the same APC would have said, he interfered. That is one. So sometimes we have to be rational when we assess the processes with this first world country which they impose on Africa. President of South Africa made mention in your speech about the kind of situation America they impose on Zimbabwe. So sometimes we have to be rational for realizing we are being in conspiracy theory so much that nothing with the commander bill in us seem like nobody wants to believe am. But now the same waterman way, if not be APC leader speak that, probably waterman be for believer. It is time for me to start to recognize that there is truth behind what he said, and it is also true that the country is an independent country. Help we for making get or not withhold funding for punish poor people then for better union standards where union country sectors are not applying to the fullest. That's what America do refer to.
Okay. Well, yeah, call we back, caller, because you make Boku points them, great points them, by the way. Thank you very much for that. But call we back. I just want to pick up on the thing, the way you say, before another call come in. Thank you very much. All right, Fambulde. I want to say Boku thank you to we caller we just call. We did talk about the speech, but it talk about now the MCC score. I want for dive into that the MCC compact program. I just want for dive into that now. But before I do that, let I just show Una this, like let Una get a better idea as to whether or not this will be considered a progress or whatnot. Now, the MCC, I be don't show na this program, this platform, say, then get criteria. You know, and my brother, I really like now we he put them. However, now policy, just like how Salone get policy, now the same way America self get policy. It just happen to must say because of time and I will go pull that thing there. But then get criteria them where you for follow. If you not follow them criteria then they make can clear another policy. Then go either suspend or cancel your compact program. And by the way, I don't know who side that 450 million number come out. It's not clear at all. I know either no sign saying a 400 million or a 450 million. Because they still be there under the review for determine whose program then go help Salone with. And it is clear, and again, where they be put out the press release, America be put out that press release, and where the former ambassador to Salone, U.S. ambassador to Salone, be say because of democracy, kind of not the election, not free and fair, then go suspend the compact program. It did now the policy very clearly, and Salone not to the first country for let them suspend the compact program. Again, we don't discuss this before. When I go back and see the countries then where America this compact program they be don't cancel or even they don't suspend or even cancel. So then get policy. So my brother, if the assessment and one thing where I go say the government they mislead Sierra Leoneans them, the compact program, Salone governments they make them like say now we right. Now we entitlement, not to entitlement. The American government through the Congress then set up the MCC Compact program for help poor countries them For like they reduce them poverty. So not an entitlement at all. Now America the prerogative. Now the own particular assessment. If they assess it, the country, and I make the again not to defend it painful for like Salone go lose out on this opportunity. But I want to be realistic now. Yeah, say before even Salone come to this level, it'll be then at the website, the MCC website, very clear the conditions them we go make them suspend or terminate the MCC compact program. So Sierra Leoneans they say, oh, like how my brother say America hypocrite and stuff. Let's take a call and then I go come back in to this point. VS Network. Hello caller, waiting your name and who say they call from?
Yeah, this is Mike at the call from Philadelphia.
Hello Mike, thank you so much for we call. And waiting you take on the program tonight, sir.
Well, since right now you're there on this compact, me just want to shed a light into something we not to talk about. Because all man they talk about this compact.
Okay.
Since 2018, with this administration don't come in power, they don't get way more than this money as what they cry for as compact. Nothing. They don't do nothing absolutely in the country for improve anything. Right? Because if you go back and look at the money we don't come inside the country since 2018 to now, it's about almost $2 billion. Nothing is done. No better electricity, no day, no better water supply, no day. Nothing is done. Why then they cry about this $400 million? We in the past 5 years they don't do nothing with the money we actually come inside the country. Now my own big question is what I really want let somebody answer for me. Why then they cry about the $400 million, but they don't get way more than $400 million when they're not able to do nothing with the country, with the country, but they cry about $400 million. You know? The only thing they need to do is that for do the right thing. If you want the $400 million, like what the American ambassador say, do the right thing so you can get the $400 million. That now the bottom line to the whole thing. They don't want to do the right thing, but they want to get the money, which it don't even make no sense. Because even if you look at all the past they wouldn't pass, forget close to this $400 million. If you then go back and look into what they do, they're not for being passed them past any because all them pass they know them pass and then civil society then and they all help them for let them pass them day. You know, if we go back and look keenly how they pass, you go no say they're not supposed to pass. You know, but let them do the right thing. And then they will ask for. We need peace in our country day. And the politician in that country they need to do the right thing for better that country day. You know, people in they suffer. You know. My own contribution, Mr. Kabo.
All right. Thank you very much, sir, for the great contribution. Let's take another call. Thank you. VS Network. Hello, caller. Waiting your name and who say the call from, please.
Yeah, Mr. Kabo. I'm James at the call from Virginia.
Hello, brother James. Thank you very much for we call as always. And waiting you take on the program tonight, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Kabo. This compass we will talk about. Like a blessing for Salone. I don't know. Because even the implementation of the compass, they're going to benefit more American companies. Because the business system, everything for improve electricity. All the benefits for Salone are for low get stable or networking. Networking so that you with the talking no longer with the program for no longer this compass. You really get electricity so that it will be easier.
And they pray God for long, not get the compact.
Now, what they say, you don't get to get electricity automatically, but they got to be the compact. If you read about that networking, which I mean, transformer therefore they within arm's length of all over Australia. That's what the compact developed for. That money is not going to go as minister in hand. Then we're going to President Bio in hand. So a blessing for all. So tomorrow, if you just get electricity or you get company, you want to provide electricity in the area, you will go buy generator and you attention to degree and you get investment through that. That's what I understand about this compact. Not the money never for good now, preserve in hand. Now for the development of Sweden, I don't know why Sudanese are so obsessed about this thing. Even if not criminal way, we get her. But it's a blessing for the country. Come on, politics don't really, we don't lead to everything. Even that criminal way, that was my say that criminal way. But the benefit is for Australia. Because you know they support SLPB today. In the pray God, I don't get that. Why people are obsessed for this? Let's not win this almost $500 million. Even though say we hate Manabio, it's not going to benefit Manabio. Even the building system of this compact. It's not going for dinner, SFPP. You go for the monitor. Now American company go for build everything, procurement, everything. Everything for this particular money. If you read that document the way they develop. Because they don't believe no Salone company for doing. Why would not pray God if God will bless you, will get her? Because the SFPP in power, why would we hate to country so much, Mr. Cabo? And that means not able to understand. If you will hate Manabio that a killer don't do all kind of thing. But a blessing for Salone. I don't know why we look at that way.
Oh, okay, I don't know if the now your line go off. But thank you very much, Brother James, for the point where you make, and a great point though. By the way, again, I can always like for set the record straight now. Yeah, annex comma between mini compact. It not go big as this one, but now mini compact. And that compact day now 5 year period, the development we now part of it now for bring water now Freetown and some other areas them. We now inside Mother Bill in time and in finish that project day. So like how Brother James say now for the country. But the point where I they make now is President Bill I want mislead Sierra Leoneans them for think say Salone entitled, not an entitlement at all. And let mislead Sierra Leoneans them for say the compact way now I be don't say on severally now where you meet they call a minimum threshold and not automatic. Because again, let somebody really send na VOS a document will show the number, say na 400 million. I don't know how to pull that 400 day. You see, now the problem this, the government say we will get 400 to 450 million, and now people and they just scatter that number day. Where that number they indicates now no document at all based on waiting that all it. But let we give a caller chance. VOS network. Hello caller, waiting your name and who side they call we from?
Yes. Hello, Mr. Kagbo. Good morning. I'm USI anyway.
Yes, sir.
Yes, me and Ahmed. I call from UK.
Thank you so much, Brother Ahmed. So what's your take on the program?
Yes. Yes. Thank you. I just listened to one of the brother you talk about this MCC and the money, how important the money is. Yeah, he don't analyze everything. The good thing about the compact, and what things Salone stand for gain. But one thing you for realize is that this money coming not like an aid or a donor giving to Salone to alleviate poverty and so that it will help for develop the country. But again, we could realize one thing is that the money are not just come no more. No, they come with an attachment. There are laws or rules attached to them on there. What would the young forget? It's not that hating the president. But them when they come, they look at what? Democratic principles. Now then thing there. Now then they certify you, then they qualify you so that you stand for get what you forget. So if you not do that, you don't get the right thing done, you're not gonna have this money. So now presidents, now principle, they don't just give you rogue states. Government or a particular set of people, they want for just hold on the country to ransom because they want for stay to power, dictatorship. No, they're not going to give them money there. Because even if the money there comes, what's development going to take place? The country is not normal at all. Everybody is furious. People are worried as to what they eat today. It's not normal just after the election. And these people, the stakeholders, and these people who they support me, wait for say, you know what? When I stand on the right, when I stand on the truth, they will ready to build you guys up. They will say, no, we are sovereignty. We don't want to do so. They expect for me to give that money. No, we agree, say, the money now for develop Sierra Leone and whereby, if possible, because we don't see a lot of money don't come from COVID, all of them don't know, so a lot of people don't come. Like what your brother say, Mike. So what are the results? With all of them in there, with all them on there. How Salone today? The same electricity now where America is tap empower so now. How about that? Where the last? So all of that, we see nothing moving for the past 5 years. So but we don't get a lot of aid. World Bank, IMF, a lot of money comes in. We see how the president said, you invest in them money there. Fly here with a private jet, with a small nation. No, people don't understand. We in the diaspora today, we sit down, this money, this is not about party, color, APC, or now, these people don't hate me. I don't believe say America hate me or this don't know they want to give them money and they hate me. No. They just want me to do the right thing. What we fail for do, we as Salonian people, I don't understand why we're not trying to we're not be the right way. So that we will say the truth, we will live well, we will support each other. Where there is truth, where there is sanity, there is complete, peace. The country they move. When we grow in that place, even during the war, there was, we free up. There's a bit of sanity. But today in Africa, if you work out your phone self in the panic name or jog and you see how the country they not stable at all. It's like we are in the still even when we come up from the war, when Chidaka all the young Chidaka about the day, so all we see them of tell what happened to this. Killing all of them there. Now then they had them people that they look at and say, no, what this compact, it gets some some things attached to this compact that you have to be like this, you have to do this, you have to do before you qualify. If you don't do that, they expect for them this money. No. We also don't know that we hate the president, but like the right thing needs to be done. So when people okay, say, when they say all of what they say, I don't think that really, important, We need to do the right thing, brother. Thank you very much, Thank you, Anthony.
Yeah, thank you very much for what you call. Let me take another call. Thank you. VS Network. Hello, caller. Waiting your name and who say they call from?
targeted figure.
Oh,
Based on that targeted figure, then they develop.
I'm so sorry for whatever reason. I click on the wrong button, so people are not be the anyway. I'm sorry about that. Me
Oh,
fumble them. So yeah, brother James, I really want for
yes,
table
sir.
kutenki, but this not
Mm.
for me own understanding though, because
Yes.
again, if you go on the MCC website, you go see previous programs, them, almost them cost and all that. But Salone, they're still there in the development phase. They're still there in that phase where they get for do things them enough finally approved yet.
It has
So
not
I
been
want
finally.
to know
I
if
agree,
that
Mr.
400.
Kagbo. I agree. It has not
Mhm.
been approved. But before they make even preliminary work, if you talk say that a project is, if you say at the biggest schools, you have to get a number in mind, and it has to be approved by whatever that donor agent with the or the, somebody with the sponsor you before you go developer.
So
That's how
so
that
so
figure came
so
about.
so I
But
mean
not only about that figure,
no
not
well
only about that figure. Don't fight
no
it. Say
my brother
even at the
again like I
even
say
at the like the 50 million when basic qualification wey and as Kuman be do President Kuman be do will be gain. Nobody knows tell me say Sawako where they spend that money on Sawako because I was sorry by them. Offline there is water facility improved like Kenima, Bo, McKinney. At least there was a reflection because the money was not given to an Ezra Kuman's government. It was implemented through American whatever. And the same thing I did become. I mean, I'm disappointed in Slovenia. They pray. I don't see Slovenia they pray. Follow no getter. I don't know what the rationale behind. If you don't know the interest of the president is not going to gain nothing. The only thing we will gain from this whole thing is the praise. Not the praise. What is the rationale? Why are we celebrating? Really, now that I really want to surrender the answer. Because if that money, if you don't mind to say, okay, don't argue about this figure, if 100 million goes alone for improved networking of electricity at alone, even a friction, that is a blessing. If you don't say that 1 million go, a blessing. I don't know why surrender the obsessed because of the interestness of the party. I will look at it. That's how me go look at that. Because if me and you command the same family, benefit they come to me, you know what I get that? How you go class that? Would they form witchcraft against our own country? Come on. I think say politics don't make we don't go lowest or the low.
oh brother James, I don't know if again now you phone. You will make great point. I think we dey misunderstand each other though, because and you make clear now. Say even if now 1 million, so meaning that you self not certain. So I just curious for no who side that 400 million number come out. You know, again, if fine for no they misinform Sierra Leoneans them. I don't do so much reading. Don't go now the MCC website where una self can get access to, and I show una the position of the compact. They still get for the review of the project and see how viable. So you they bring proposal and say, okay, this now me project proposal. This now the project where Leona help me with. And then go do the assessment, how much it go cost and all that thing and day. So in terms of where from the get go, oh now 400 million. And at one point, the former information minister, he talk like self now check America go cut for we. Now the same platform, I make people understand, say no, not to check, not to money, cash that they give Salone. Now, program that they help Salone for build development project. So it gets different phases them. So you know, but I get the point where Brother James they make when a valid point and say whether or not now Bill Winam or other president Winam now for better Salone. So every Sierra Leonean for be excited, which is 100% I agree with. However, here's the caveat. So, Brother James, why you not flip them the other way and say, President Bill, this now for develop Sierra Leone, not about you. Why you not do everything in your power for like you do waiting required of the country so we go get that development there? Why you not flip them the other way? This not the policy where they do good for we. They get conditions them attached to the good way they do. And you want that development, that good way one for do you. So not to you get for dance to in tune if you really want that good day. So why you they kind of now complain and you they even try for make the person vex further for something where you're not entitled to, not to entitlement. No. And that make them make it very clear. So where you win at least 10 of the scores them, you eligible. Now that word they use. You eligible for a compact program. They don't make it automatic. So when you win a minimum 10, you automatically go for a compact development program. No, they say you eligible. So then get now a committee where they sit down. I be sure now. Ghana don't win and several. Ghana don't get more than 10 of the indicators them several times. Liberia said don't win them, but not to all the time. Not to like every time you win them, then give you compact program. No, they look at the different aspects them of the eligibility, and then they kind of sit down committee meet. All that process they did at their websites, me family. So now that make yes, but could people like you feel lazy for it. But it's nice for let we self we learn book. Let we able read them program then they and the steps them so the politicians they're not going to use that for misinform the public. Now that's just the same yeah. So why we not use them on the flip side? Let's take a call and I go try for wrap up. We're not go too far, too long on this program tonight. VS Network. Hello, caller. What's your name and who say the call from, please?
Good evening, Mr. Kabo. This is Abdul.
Hello,
You
brother
call from
Abdul.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, thank you very much for calling. And what's your take on the program tonight, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for such programs and we moderate at this platform.
You're welcome, sir. My pleasure.
For some of we don't follow them this program at this network. For years now, we know what the network stand for, and we know the standards within this network. And so, for anybody where they think otherwise, probably they just started watching this program. So I thank you for that, you and your entire crew.
Thank you.
But I miss Madam Fadima. I know this young for a while now. So, but anyway, let's go to the point. Mr. Kabo, I believe Sierra Leone, for make we country go develop. Okay, this is which I believe personally, and I believe I hold on to this strongly. Until and unless we as a nation decide for devoid our thoughts, attitudes, behavior, and any other thing, any other adjective we want to use from any tribal thinking or regional sentiments or political party, fanatics, or being so loyal to the political parties and all the other things here we had to talk about. And decide for turning things here all to the country itself. Until then, we know they see a headway in waiting we're supposed to be as a nation.